welcome or welcome back to a day full of budgets. I hope you're well. Today I will be doing my budget with me for May. May for us is actually going to be a 4-week month. I've decided to push the 5-week month to June because that will work better for us. So I'm just going to run through the layout of the budget that I do. I do this in an Excel spreadsheet and then I just make it look nice and print it out. So I'll just go through income, expenditure, what would be left, and then where we will be putting the leftover into our sinking funds. So if you're quite new to budgeting, people do things very differently. They use books and things like that. I don't. I've budgeted like this for a while and it just really works for me. So I'm employed and self-employed, so my money comes in different weeks, whereas my husband is full-time employed. So we will start with a zero balance as we do every month. So I do a zero base budget at the end of every month. Whatever is left will go into, so any notes that are left will go into the leftover binder. Any sort of change, if you like, will go into my emergency fund at the end of the month, and then we always start with zero. So income for the first week is 6,220.39, 700 in the second week. I'm not anticipating anything in the third week, and then in the fourth week 1,982.20. So we've got a total income this month of 8,902.59. This is a lot higher than it has been recently, just because my husband's had to do quite a lot of overtime. So now I'll list through my expenses. I list them through in what weeks that they're going to come out of the bank, or I anticipate they're going to come out of the bank. So we've got water, which has gone up. It's 107.90 now. TV license 15, 23.63 and 36.35 are critical illness covers. Vet plan at 17.50. Our mobile phones is 53.66. That's a really odd amount, so I need to go and have a look at what's made that up. Savings of £300, that goes into my 50 envelope challenge. It also gets put into a high interest regular saver, so I think it's about 7% that interest that goes into. Octopus is gas and electric, 180. Mortgage is £1,300, that includes a very small overpayment. Nationwide is 35, that's a savings account. Business expenses at 55.80. Council tax has gone up to 287. My life insurance at 9.95. Spotify at 19.99, Apple storage at 8.99. So both of those are for the whole family. And then we've got our Virgin package, which I'm not entirely sure exactly how much it's going to be. The most it will be is 87.30, but I think it should be less than that. We're kind of in a transition onto a new deal, but the new deal should be very similar to what we were paying. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. Another nationwide saver at £45. Another business expense at £1.80. We've got a car PCP payment of £522.24. The connectivity for the car is £9.99. And then going back to the first week, just because it comes in at the end of the month rather than the first of the month, so I still count it in this column, is another life insurance at £24.70. And then at the bottom, I've got things that will sort of come out of the bank either as a standing order or a payment that's not classed as a sinking fund. So we've got my lifetime ISA. I put £20 a week into a stocks and shares lifetime ISA using Moneybox. Then my son has an A-level maths tutor, and that is £60 a week. So we've only got this month and next month until it stops, and then my middle will probably start having a maths tutor from sort of October time. And then in my other, we now have a cleaner who has been an absolute lifeline to me. So we pay £30 a week for her to come in, and she doesn't do the whole house, she just does like areas that I need doing. And then the last week it's 60 because it's £30 for the cleaner, and then I always have a £30 buffer at the end of the month, just, you know, for anything that I haven't accounted for. So they come to 3,581.80. which leaves us a balance of 5,320.79. So that 5,320 I'm going to put into sinking funds. So you'll see I've got the totals along the bottom here, which will then leave a balance of 79p. Obviously I have got a £30 buffer up here, but yeah, ideally this will then become a zero balance when I move whatever is actually left at the end of the month into my emergency fund. So let's have a look at the sinking funds of how I'm going to distribute that money. So I will use a highlighter, and what I tend to do is I will go through and highlight anything that's different to what I would normally like to put into a pot. It just helps me identify any changes. So because I've been doing this for such a long time and these numbers have been very much the same, I sort of know, I'll know how much is going into each pot each week. So if I've changed it, I need to highlight it so I know when I look at this, go, oh, it's not the usual amount, it's something different, so I don't mess it up. So yeah, it's more for me. so I know what I'm doing. So food is going to stay at £140 a week. £15 of that generally goes into savings challenges. So generally we have £125 a week, and that's for food and household. Now I use the Jam Donut app. So if you'd like to use the Jam Donut app, I do have a referral. But what I do is each week I'll buy a voucher for the supermarket or, you know, any other shopping that I do. And then whenever I need things like toilet roll or washing pods or conditioner, anything like that, any householdy bits, I've been cashing out my Jam Donut and then using that for the household, like larger household items, and I found that's been working really well. When I build up to Christmas, I'll stop doing that and I will use that for Christmas. So yeah, so that's what I do. But that's the same. Fuel and charging is going to be £20 a week. As usual, family fun is £25 a week as usual. My self-care £15. Money for us, we're going to get money for us this month. We didn't have any last month. So I'd quite like to go out for a meal at some point, either sort of this month or next. School is £15 a week. Clothes is going up. So we do need lots of summer bits. Most of it we will get from our holiday funds, but my son is starting sixth form in September, and he literally has a few pairs of joggers and some football shirts. That's literally all he lives in. He doesn't own a single pair of jeans. He's got one pair of like combat trousers, and that's it. So to go into sixth form, he's going to need some clothes. So I want to start building up this clothes fund so I can start getting him some bits. Health and beauty is at 20, kids is at 30 a week. Clubs, we're a bit behind in clubs. I think because my daughter done some extra over Easter and I took it out of clubs and not the Easter money. So yeah, so we're a little bit behind. So I'm going to put £110 in for the first week, just to kind of build that up. It's just so I make sure I've got enough for her, the standing order that comes out, and then the rest is 60. School food is going to be 20 a week. Home is going to be 50 a week. So we're trying to build up some money for my daughter's bedroom. So yeah, just popping a little bit extra in there. Pets is 15 a week. Tech is also different because we're doing the last £50 on the Cinderella Cash Challenge. So they're the denominations that we need each week. Car maintenance is the same at 30. Cheer travel is at 20. We will need that this month, so I do need to double check actually that we are going to have enough for the hotel and things like that. So that may change, but I'll let you know. Emergency fund is going to stay at 20 a week. And then annual bills is going to get extra. It's going to get 80 each week. Family annuals, so annual bills is household bills. And then family annuals are birthdays, school holidays, and then any other sort of like things like Easter and stuff like that. So that's going to get 100 a week. And then Christmas is going to get 60 a week, which is great. So generally, if my husband's done some overtime and had a little bit extra in his pay, I try to distribute it in the areas I know it's going to have the biggest impact, rather than just kind of putting it into like family fun and things like that. I want to make sure that we're covering everything in good time. To that effect, we are putting a massive £240 each week into holiday. I need this paid off by middle of this month. So I need £5,000 by the middle of this month. So by doing this, that will allow that. My work is going to be at 50 a week. My husband's self-care is at 15. Miscellaneous is at 10. Investments, this is my just general stocks and shares, trading 212 ISA, trading 212 stocks and shares ISA. Did I say that first? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I put £20 a week into that as well. That's just for me to dabble in any shares that I might like to buy. And then for challenges, we have got £200 a week, which is great. There's quite a few big things that we are saving for at the moment, which I'm using the challenges for. So things like we've got Goodwood Festival, I'm saving for my boys' prom suits, and yeah, so there's lots of big things that we are saving for. So yeah, £200 a week is going to go into that. All of those totals then add up at the bottom, and yeah, comes back to the £5,320 that we need. So in order for me to get to these numbers, I literally just play around with all of these figures. I'll put in all the ideal, I'll see what's left. If I don't have enough, I'll take stuff out. If I've still got money left, I'll add in. And that's just a really good way that I find to track what we need to be spending our money on this month. So that's it. That's my budget with me for May. Thank you so much for watching along. Please do remember everybody's financial situation and journey is very different. This is just the situation we find ourselves in at this present moment in time. It's not always been this way. So just please do remember not to compare and judge. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic budgeting May. The sun is out a lot more. Hopefully the weather's going to get a little bit warmer, and everybody's going to feel a little bit brighter. So until my next video, have a fantastic week or weekend. I'm not sure what order all of this is going to come out in. So I will see you in my next one. Thumbs up, leave me a comment about your May budget, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.